Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun.
Welcome back to the Stealing Home Show, the most unserious baseball show on the planet, hosted by the best brother-sister duo in baseball. Anthony, my sister Lisa's here with me. We're coming off probably the best weekend of baseball so far this year. London series wrapped up. Yankees-Dodgers wrapped up. The Royals decided to just become magicians and win games they shouldn't have no business winning. I don't know about you, Lisa, but I think this might be the best show we've ever had.
I was actually going to say the same thing. I think it just, I can't see how this isn't the best show ever.
It's a feeling in the air coming from across the pond in London, watch those early morning games, and then coming back home watching the Yankee-Dodgers at night. And then,
Yep.
Oh, you might have missed it, but the Royals were having a series themselves with the Mariners, which was really fun to watch.
Big Royals boy over here.
No, I'm a good I love baseball, and there was some good baseball happening this weekend. And also, if you're not even in tune with Major League Baseball, which is what we're going to be talking about today, the College World Series is starting to get kicked off, and there are some really good college games too. So I was in baseball heaven this weekend.
Lots of baseball this weekend.
Yep. So if you're ready, let's jump into what happened last week. Look at the last week recap. All right, so the midweek results, it started off with the Mariners and the Oakland Athletics, and something funny here. So, you know how the A's are leaving. They're going to Sacramento.
And
for
a while before they hit Vegas.
There's now a new team in the Oakland area. If you're out in Oakland, go check out the Oakland Ballers, a.k.a. the Oakland Bees instead of the A's. It's an independent league playing in the Pioneer League, I believe it is. And it was funny. Their first game, I think, was Friday or Monday. And the Mariners were playing at Oakland. And I think the Oakland Bees might have outdrew the A's. So, yeah.
What, they sell out or something?
They did sell out. I think that's like out of spite. The A's fans are like, we're going to support this team instead of that team. Either way, A's didn't win that series. Mariners took it. Anything here where you're like, wow, midweek result? I mean, the White Sox getting swept. They won a game. We'll get to that. But at this point, they were like 14 deep.
I'll say this. I always check MLB just to see like what news they're reporting on. I find it funny because obviously they never report on anything bad in the league. But I think this is a call out specifically to at MLB. You cannot have like 4 of the 5 best highlights of the week being against the White Sox. It's just not fair. You can't do that. That's like
Jarren Duran stealing home. I think that was against the White Sox from the Red Sox this past weekend.
I swear it was like 4 or 5 of the different highlights were either them against the Cubs or we'll talk in a second about them against the Red Sox later in the weekend. And I'm like, guys, can you give these people a break, please? These poor men. I feel so bad for them. It's getting bad.
That's one sweep. A lot of sweeps during the middle of the week. I guess it was just one of those midweeks. The Angels sweeping the Padres.
Everybody picked up their brooms. Yes.
Marlins.
What we wanted to see.
Them. Well, if you're an Angel fan and you wanted to see that.
Yeah.
Marlins getting swept from the Rays. Mets sweeping the Nationals. Again, that was heading into London, so good for the Mets. They were hot going to London. 3-game win streak. The Reds sweeping the Rockies at the Rockies.
Shockingly in Denver.
Right?
So maybe we talked too much about it. I don't know.
We jinxed them.
Yeah.
And the Phillies swept the Brewers. Yankees sweeping the Twins. Remember, we thought that was going to be a fun series to watch.
Yeah, turns out not really.
No, Yankees handled them. All right, let's go and check out the weekend series. Unless you wanted to?
No, let's get to the weekend, and I'll say what I'm going to say there.
Go ahead. There you go. Do you want to say something now? Weekend's up.
Yeah, I was going to say, we saw the Mets sweep in the midweek, and now, we see them split with the Phillies during their London series, right? And were we too early to count the Mets out? Because I think last week we were saying they were the mediocre Mets, but I don't know. I'm liking what I saw this week. I feel like do they still have a chance? I think they do.
Well, what are they back in the wild card? Let me check that right now. What are we looking at for the Mets? The Mets are 3 games out of the wild card. So realistically, I mean, there's a lot of teams that they have to jump past, but realistically, if they get on a streak and start winning some baseball games, anything can happen. And we'll talk about that later in the show. If your team's under 500, there's still hope for you. So stay tuned later in the show. We will talk about how there's hope for you if you're under 500 right now.
I like the teaser if you're still here, before you do anything else, why don't you hit that subscribe button? We're going to keep talking about baseball. You should just do it now.
Yep.
Stop what you're doing. Hit it now. Okay, keep going.
Phillies and Mets. Let's just start in London. That was the early games. Awesome series. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but they split. Pirates beat the Twins. So the Twins, I guess that sausage that they had got moldy because now they're not winning a lot of games.
Did I not tell you about that?
What happened with the sausage? Is there an update?
No, it's been thrown out. The sausage is out.
Oh my! Why did they
It
not?
was like a couple weeks ago. So someone on Reddit posted a photo of the sausage in the trash, and they were like, "I guess the sausage is
That's not
over."
real. There's no way. But honestly, I can see
think it is.
because they're not
I
winning
think it
games.
is.
They're not winning games right now, so I could definitely see that.
It explains a lot. Yeah.
All right. Well, the Reds beat the Cubs. Royals and Mariners. Really fun series to watch. The Royals were down 8 runs one game, came all the way back and won. I think it was like 10-9 final score. They ended up winning against the Mariners. And then yesterday, Sunday, the very end, they were going for the sweep against the Mariners. Mariners ended up pulling it out, but they were up. I believe it was like 5-4 or 4-3 in the last inning. Royals ended up tying it with a home run. Was it MJ Melendez went yard in the ninth inning to tie it up? Ended up losing in extras, but that was really fun. And when that Kansas City crowd starts to get going over there, it's, in my opinion, one of the most fun atmospheres in baseball that I've never been to. I really want to go to a game before they get out of that stadium. They're trying to destroy Kauffman Stadium, which is crazy to me. I was at this game, though. Orioles and Rays. The Orioles swept the Rays. The Rays looked very mediocre, and the Orioles looked good. That's my only takeaway.
Good time to be an Orioles fan. The last couple of years, they're not slowing down. I think this year, I think they're still in it to win it. So let's see what happens with them.
Yep.
They had a good week this week.
Giants beat the World Series champions Texas Rangers, who are off to a pretty rough start this year.
Yeah.
The White Sox, I think they were losers of 14 straight before they finally got their win against Boston. And I don't know if you saw this. Of course it was Boston. It's like, who's going to be the first team to lose to the White Sox during this streak? You kind of don't want to be that team. Of course it was Boston who had to be that team. And the White Sox, man, you're up like 6 runs in the last inning, something crazy like that. They're up 8-2, something like that. You're trying to win your first game in 16 days, right? Did you see this? Pop up to the left fielder. He's camped under it. Final out of the game, drops it.
I did not see that.
It's funny. So
It's not. I mean,
even when they win, can't go right.
It's just bad news bears out there. I don't know what is going, like, who is there a curse? It's been too long since we've had curses, and now there's no other explanation other than something supernatural, because nobody can be this bad on accident.
Even when they were good, they weren't really that. Like a few years back, they weren't really that good.
I know, but
maybe they are cursed.
Something is up here. Like, who did they piss off? Because it's just like it's Clown Town. It's absolute clown foolery. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. Like I said, when 5 of the top 10 plays of the week are just a clown show over in guaranteed rate, like, what is going on, guys? I don't know what to do. I feel so bad.
We'll talk about Dodgers Yankees right now, but before we do that, I wanted to highlight. I skipped over this. I wanted to highlight during the midweek series. It was Pirates and Dodgers during the middle of the week, and the Pirates ended up winning that series. But really, the matchup that everyone wanted to watch: Paul Skenes versus Shohei Ohtani.
Yes, I cannot believe we skipped over that.
Did you see any of that?
Didn't he strike him out like 3 times?
So Paul Skenes, his first at-bat against Ohtani, 3 straight fastballs. You know what that's called? Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. All 100 plus Paul Skenes throwing against Ohtani. The next at-bat, it's like a 6-8 pitch at-bat. Ohtani finally gets Paul Skenes and takes him yard dead center off a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you were at that game and you wanted to see Ohtani versus Skenes, you got exactly what you wanted. You got to see Skenes dominate him with 3 fastballs, and then you got to see Ohtani make the adjustment and take him deep, which I thought was awesome. I was watching from TV. Cool. I was like, yeah, this is sweet.
These are the kind of matchups we need. I know we're about to talk about the Dodgers and the Yankees, but it's this kind of show power that I think we have been missing. And before, I say that with the caveat of, like, remember, a lot of the players. Like, you're the real geek about a lot of these guys. I am the casual fan. but I know who Paul Skenes is. I know who Ohtani is. I know who the guys on the Dodgers and the Yankees are. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I feel like has been missing for a little while from baseball. That it makes me, someone who's a casual viewer, excited because I know who these people are now, so I can keep up with what's going on.
Yeah, and it also helps that you've been doing the show, so you're starting to become less and less casual the more you do this, to be honest.
That might, I hope I never lose that because I can't do it. No one could suffer me being a geek about this. And I think the point still stands because I know people who don't watch baseball at all and they're like, football is the best sport. And they're talking about Skenes Ohtani. So like that's what the sport needs, I think.
Well, before Dodgers Yankees, let's actually jump to across the pond and let's talk about that London series.
Okay.
Because you want
I'm
to talk
never
about.
gonna get to talk about the Dodgers Yankees.
I'm
but
just
let's
I'm
talk
just keep
about
teasing
London.
you with it because I know the
Yeah.
Yankees are your team, so I'm trying as much as I can. Actually, I should want to talk about that because they lost the series at the end of the day. But let's go to London. Talk about a matchup. You got Pete Alonso with the Mets and Bryce Harper and their star power with the Phillies. I mean, just a good series altogether. I don't know if you saw this before the series. Like baseball Twitter leaked into cricket Twitter from across the
Tell
pond.
me a little bit about this.
I just thought it was funny.
I enjoy this.
I
like
a little
this.
bit of banter, between the two.
Some banter.
Some banter, friendly banter, a little chirping.
What do they say on Love Island? I got a text.
I don't know.
You know what?
No, I thought it was like, oh, you fancy a chat? Would you
If
like
you're
to have
British,
a chat?
yeah, they do say that. If you're British, you get that.
It's like a little bird.
No, it was a really good matchup to go to London. And I think if you watch that without knowing anything about baseball, you probably will think that baseball is a lot more exciting than it is like 80% of the time.
I hope so. I mean, it was two good games. The first game, it was a pitching duel at first. They had who was pitching? It was Ranger Suarez for the Phillies, who's a really good pitcher. He might start the All-Star game for the National League this year, Ranger Suarez. And then who was pitching for the Mets? Gosh, I can't remember, but the two starters were pitching pretty well. And then the Mets starter got hit around a little bit. And then the Phillies ran away with the first game. The second game, it looked like it was going to go like that until the very end when the Mets finally came back. And thank God they did, because if they didn't, it was going to be a long flight home back to the United States. You fly all the way to London, fight jet lag just to lose two games. That's a season killer right there. But they won it, and they won it in exciting fashion. They came back in the ninth, got the go-ahead runs in the ninth, and then they almost lost it because the Phillies were fighting back. And I showed you this play. It was bases loaded, one out, Nick Castellanos up to the plate with the go-ahead run on second base with one out. And this is how it ended. Bat explodes, little trickler. He steps on home, throws it to first, and Pete Alonso is pounding the clay because he's so excited that he gets to go home a winner. What'd you make of that final play?
It's like I said, if you watch this series and you've never watched baseball before, you're going to think baseball is a hell of a lot more exciting than it is on a normal day because you don't see plays like that all the time. And again, to my point previously about casual non-watchers getting excited about baseball, I was, talking to people today, and someone who doesn't know anything about baseball has self-admittedly said he does not like the sport, asked me if I saw the last out of that game because he had already seen it. And that's what is important. Like these people are getting excited for these matchups and these fun games and these great plays. And it's exciting to hear as someone who cares about baseball.
So that brings up, that's actually really cool. You haven't told me that before, but that brings up our next, a good point is, do you like these kind of, I don't know if you want to call them gimmick games or like specialty games. Do you like these games or, the Field of Dreams game, the London series, the South Korean series that we saw them play in Seoul, South Korea? What do you make of those games? And, do you like them? Where else would you want to see MLB go if you like them?
Yeah, that's tough. I'm normally not a gimmick game girl.
Specialty game.
Say that 3 times fast.
Specialty game.
Whatever. Because you guys know how I feel about the Field of Dreams, right? Like there's certain games that
she hates Field of Dreams, the movie and the game.
I have look. We'll have to talk about the movie one day. In the off season, we have to talk about the movie.
I'll put a card up there, and it'll be a highlight of her absolutely ragging on Field of Dreams. which I
I
am
hope so.
not with her on that.
But look, if my husband didn't pay our mortgage to build a baseball field in our corn, I'd be pissed off. Anyway, um, no, I mean, I'm not normally about this. And the Mexico series, I feel like didn't, because we just did that one a little while ago, it feels like. And that didn't bring anything to me. The World Baseball Classic does, which is not part of this, I know, but I'm just pointing it out because it is with other countries. The Seoul series, I did really like, I think because there's so much love for baseball in Korea. And I don't know what it was. I think in London, what it was just having two really good teams play electric games. I don't know if it would have been, I think it would have been in Mexico Part 2 had it not been as electric as it was. So I don't know that we need it. I don't know that it helps, but do you think the balls were juiced, by the way? Because they did hit a
No,
lot of home runs out there.
no.
No? So yeah.
Interesting thing. That's an Olympic stadium they played at. So
Oh, really?
the way it's constructed, the way it is constructed is there's no wind factor, which kind of helps the balls fly a little bit because there's no wind knocking the ball down, but also there's no wind carrying it out either. But take that into account. I don't think the balls were juiced.
Well, yeah, I mean, either way, I don't know. I'm still not 100% sold on these games, but the London series was very fun. I'll
All
say
right,
that.
I'll go against you. I think these games are awesome. You have 162 games in the Major League season. For two teams to do a series like this and spice it up a little bit, it kind of creates an atmosphere where people will get excited for a specialty game, right? And gets them talking about baseball. If this was just a regular 2-game series in Philadelphia or New York, good games, but no one's really talking about it. Similar to the Royals and the Mariners, good games, but it gets forgotten. Now, if those games were played in like a military base, like Hawaii, if they were played in Hawaii, those games are being talked about 100%. So I think specialty games are awesome. The NHL, like we've talked about this in the past, the NHL does a great job with it. With the Winter Classic, they do the Stadium Series where they go and play outdoor hockey. Like
Yeah.
that's type of stuff. It gets fan bases excited and other people wanting to tune in for a specialty game. Baseball should run with this because we play more regular season games than any other sport in the history of sports. Like they should run with this.
It's true.
And they can do
So
it.
where would you want them to go next?
Military base, that would be really cool, I think. Some kind of military appreciation game.
I think
that'd be
that's fair.
fire.
I feel like they don't do enough.
No,
Like
they
Memorial Day. Well, I'm just saying, like Memorial Day came and went, and yeah, they do some things,
the hats.
but
They got the camo
yeah,
hats.
I
You
mean,
want more. You want more.
they do the hats for. I mean, it could be like a kid's birthday, and they do the hats. It feels
Mother's Day,
like
probably,
they're-
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If they were to do something on a military base, I think that would be really cool. I do think it's cooler when they're not here. Like to do the gimmick games in the US, I think is extra gimmicky. But if you have,
Well,
unless you were to do one in like Iowa,
Field of
which
Dreams. Hello.
which I guess is Field
Thank
of Dreams.
you. You're
Yeah,
literally
I know.
describing Field of Dreams. And also for Field of Dreams, they also had like a section that they only sold tickets to veterans, I think, one year,
Okay.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, like it's cool, man. It is cool. You got to give into
We'll
Field of
see.
Dreams. You just got to
We'll
give into
see.
Field
We'll
of Dreams.
see.
All
But
right.
yeah, I don't know.
And watching that London series, Harper came up with the chance to win the game at the very end, and it was like one of those moments where you're just like, I mean, everyone knows Bryce Harper. That's one of the showstoppers in the league. Like if he comes on your TV and he's going to take an at bat with the game on the line, you're stopping what you're doing. You're stop texting your crush. You're not emailing work. You are tuning into that at bat. All right, the old bag can wait, and you're watching that at bat. Like that's a showstopper, and it had me thinking, who are some other showstoppers in the league? One right off the bat, Ohtani.
Ohtani.
Easy.
Right.
Another one, like we said, Paul Skenes.
Skenes.
But who did
Judge.
there you go. I was gonna say, who did Ohtani match up with this weekend?
Judge. It's got to be Judge.
And he is on fire. So let's get into it. The London
Yay.
series, no, the Dodgers series
The Yankee
against the Yankees.
series.
The potential World Series matchup is what people were saying, and by people,
Honestly,
I mean everyone but
I could see it.
Yankees and
I could
Dodgers
see it.
fans. Dodgers fans and Yankees fans were the only ones saying potential World Series. Everyone's like, no, please, no. But yeah,
I could see it for sure. It did have that feeling. I think because, again, not to like belabor this, but It's the star power of it, right? I mean, yes, we talked about Skenes and Harper, and there are other people who are stars in their teams, but in these two teams, it feels like there's a very large collection of them,
You got
right? Like
Judge, you got Soto, you got Garrett Cole.
when he's there.
Yeah.
You got
He didn't
Cole,
play this weekend, unfortunately. Soto didn't play. Garrett Cole, he's
right?
sidelined as well. I think really
Stanton,
Stanton, but look, Stanton is whatever. But
whatever.
an argument can be made, and just a brief side note, an argument could be made that a guy like Anthony Volpe wouldn't be as popular as he is if he wasn't in pinstripes.
Oh,
More eyes are on the Dodgers, more eyes are on the Yankees, and that's just because
yeah.
of who they are and where they play. But that doesn't stop that they're both really good teams, and they had a really good series this weekend. Let's start with Game 1. Game 1 was an absolute pitching clinic. All right, Yamamoto on the mound, who the Yankees wanted to sign. He said, "No, I hate you, New York. I'm not going to sign in New York." His interpreter said that.
Oh, okay.
I'm lying. But he kind of said that through his actions. Signs with the Dodgers, joins
He might have just
Ohtani.
wanted to be closer to home. It's
Maybe.
a shorter flight from California than New York.
Most likely that is
Okay.
it. But great pitching in the Bronx. The Yankees also had this guy, Poteet. Who the hell is Poteet? I didn't even know who this guy was until I tuned into the
I
game.
didn't even know who this guy was.
And he's really, really good. One thing I thought, Game 1, instant reaction. Ohtani comes up to the plate. I think this is the only park where they booed the crap out of Ohtani. Every other park, I think everyone respects. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see him hit. No, Yankee fans, boo! The Bronx Birds were out. Game
Which I
2,
respect. I respect.
I thought it was cool. And I think Ohtani kind of likes that too.
You want to see that.
Yeah.
Even with these stars like Ohtani, who, regardless of who you like, I mean, in Skenes, right? Like, there's people that, regardless of who your team is, you're kind of rooting for them. You want to follow them. Like you said, you stop what you're doing and you check out the TV when they're on. You gotta love when people don't like them.
Could you imagine?
Like, I don't want Ohtani playing against my team. Hell no.
Could you imagine an Ohtani villain arc? I mean, we already have the betting thing.
We have one.
Yeah.
It's ongoing.
We need him to like slap a baby. Like he needs to do something really bad that like someone catches on video and get the Ohtani villain arc rolling. Because he might, if you think he's good now, he might turn it up a level if he's like the bad guy.
Maybe it's him who cursed the White Sox. I don't know.
No, I don't know how you. We might need a cork board.
Allegedly.
With yarn connecting that. I don't know how you would connect that. Game 2. It was close before it wasn't. The Dodgers ended up winning like 11-2 or something. But it was a close-ish game until the Dodgers ran away with it. The guy who hit the go-ahead base hit for the Dodgers, Teoscar Hernandez, he comes back and hits a grand slam in that game. I think he hits 2 home runs in Game 2. He had a really good series. Kike Hernandez, who had an awkward moment on, I believe it was Friday night with Apple TV. He was mic'd up, makes an error. After the error, he's like, doesn't really want to talk anymore. He had a good game, too. I think he went yard as well, went oppo to right field. So that set up Game 3.
And by the way,
yeah,
I don't like the on-field mics. I just don't.
I'm a fan, but sometimes it can get in the way.
Let them play. You're not helping it feel like a sport when the guy can talk to you the entire time that the game's going on.
No,
you know
I do
mean?
like when they talk about what their mental process. As a player, as a former player, I enjoyed when they asked them, what are you thinking of on this pitch? Like, what are you seeing with this hitter? Because then you get the game within the game, kind of like the expert level knowledge. I like that. And it's also good content when they're talking to a guy and a ground ball gets hit to him and he makes the play while talking at the same time. That is good content, in my opinion.
All right.
But I agree 100%. Sometimes the mic can get like, dude, what are we talking about? This guy's trying to play a Major League Baseball game right now. What are we talking about?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Game 3. Yankees trying to avoid the sweep. They do just that. But that was probably, Game 3 might have been the best game of the series, maybe.
I agree.
It was back and forth. Either way, Yankees won it, and Judge stayed hot, hitting the crap out of the ball. Stanton, opposite. Not a good series for Stanton. Teoscar, good series. Ohtani was there, too. I don't know if Ohtani was, like, nasty that series. But he got some hits. I saw him get some hits. But I think Judge in Game 3 was it. Like,
Judge did what he needed to do, which was stay hot.
What is this? He's on some kind of roll. He was hitting like $180 a month and a half ago, and now he's hitting like over 300. He's on pace to flirt with his own record right now of beating 62 home runs.
I guess he got his eye checked. Maybe he got LASIK or something. I don't know. But he's just don't mess with it. Don't mess with whatever he's doing.
Whatever. He's eating the same Wheaties every morning to stay on
Yeah,
that pace.
exactly.
So I wanted to ask, watching this series between these two teams who have aspirations to go to the World Series, star-studded teams, like you said,
Yes.
to which team did this series mean more? Did it mean more to the Dodgers or did it mean more to the Yankees?
That's a good question. I think it probably meant more to the Yankees. And I don't know that this necessarily counted them out for me. I mean, I know that they walked away, you know, down one to the Dodgers. The Dodgers took the series with two. But at the same time, they didn't have Soto. They still don't have Cole. Those guys are gonna come back. Judge is insanely hot right now, and maybe he could, if he stays on pace, like he's gonna have a great year. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I asked you when we were talking about it last night. I asked you like, why did they lose game one and two? Because I didn't watch them, and you were like, I don't know, they just lost. And then that's a good sign to me, I think, because sometimes you just lose and that's okay. If you can start to pinpoint like, oh, well, they didn't have Soto and then like these guys were making errors and then their bats weren't alive and then the pitching was like when you start doing that, that's when I think it's kind of like a bad look. But if they're just playing and they got outplayed a little bit, I think this is really good for them regardless. And yes, I might be biased as like a reformed Yankees fan, but I don't think that this is bad. I think it was more important for the Yankees. It would have been better if they'd won all more, but I think they did just fine with what they had for right now.
Yeah, I mean, certified Yankee hater and myself, I hate the Yankees. Bona fide Yankee
Right.
hater. If you're a
Yes.
Yankee fan in the comments, rain down on me because I hate you. I will say that right now. All right.
I think more people hate the Yankees than don't.
Yeah, yeah. But it matches up because the Yankees love themselves so much and they're all conceited with themselves so much that we have to match them with our hate. So,
Okay.
but I agree, though. I think it meant more to the Yankees this series. But at the same time, like you said, they didn't have Soto. They didn't have Cole. So they weren't really 100%. You know what I mean? So I think winning that third game was big for them. You don't want to get swept at home by the Dodgers, especially in New York. That media is going to run wild with that. And the fact that Judge had a really good series and has been playing as good as he is, which is good because Soto's not in that lineup like we just said, so they're going to need that extra production. I think that's huge for the Yankees. Who do you have winning the World Series if these two teams match up? We just saw 2-1 Dodgers. It'd be a 4 out of 7 series.
That's the other thing too, right? Because I think looking at the matchup, I know it's been a couple years for both. Well, it's been a few years since the Dodgers went, and it's been quite a long time since the Yankees have been there. But that notwithstanding, I mean the Dodgers team right now is really the veterans at playing in October and going this far. So I think that's the other thing about this series is that, you know, this is kind of old hat for the Dodgers is playing these high profile games. If they were to go to the World Series, I would probably I would still probably think that the Dodgers would win, but I wouldn't count the Yankees out, if that makes sense.
I'd go Dodgers. Just because
Yeah.
exactly what you said. I also just
I
think
think they have the experience.
they have more. They have more oomph.
Yeah.
Like Stanton is like almost a free out. Even though Stanton does play good in October, he's almost a free out. Same thing with Anthony Rizzo right now, who's the World Series
Yeah.
champion with the Cubs. But it's like I feel like the Yankees just have some holes, especially without Soto. Honestly, you put Soto in that lineup, maybe we're talking about a Yankee sweep, maybe, because they are a
It's
different team with Soto. It's unreal.
That is very true. It would really depend, I think, on see if the I think what the Dodgers have going right now this far into the season is that the Dodgers are just like consistently the Dodgers. Where I feel like the
They've been that way
Yankees,
for so long too.
yeah, and that's the other part of it too. Is like they just have experience doing that. Whereas like the Yankees, they turn on and they're really hot. And then, someone gets hurt or something happens, which what we talked about at the beginning of the season is that the Yankees will be fine if they can stay healthy, which there's Soto and Cole are coming back, whatever. It shouldn't be a death blow to these guys. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. With the Yankees, it would depend very much on how they were in October. If they got hot, then I would give it to the Yankees. But if they were just playing normal, then they're normal. I think the Dodgers win.
Yeah, and who knows? These two teams might not even make it past the first round in the playoffs. A lot of
Dodgers
people.
might not even make it to the playoffs. We don't know.
No, you keep saying that they're making the playoffs, but they might not even make it past the first round. A lot of people are getting annoyed at the question about Dodgers Yankees World Series. I mean, guys, you just have
I
to
think that's
ask
fair.
that. They've matched
I mean-
up 11 times in the World Series. The Yankees have won 8 of them. Dodgers have won 3. And I get being annoyed at the question, but I mean, you do got to ask. Like, it's Dodgers Yankees. If you're a baseball fan, you know Dodgers Yankees. So, but they
Look,
might
it's
not
a-
even make
yes.
it. They might not even make it.
Exactly. Look, the two teams have stars right now. They're both playing decently. You have to ask the question. But I do think I can understand why people would be frustrated because also like, what are we talking about at this point? There's so much more that could happen between here and the World Series that seems kind of like a moot point. But yeah, you got to point it out. I think, especially after watching this weekend series, it felt
It felt like a playoff game.
it felt like a playoff game. Yeah.
Awesome baseball. Like, if that doesn't get the juices going through your veins, is that
Nothing
even
will.
is that a saying? I don't
Your
know.
juice is flowing, your
Yeah.
veins pumping.
Yeah, whatever. If your heart rate
All of
ain't
them.
up watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All right, 2 teams that are at the top of the league, Dodgers, Yankees. If you're a fan base and your team sucks right now, there's still hope for you. MLB Network did a segment that I saw, and I was thinking this, and every time we bring something up, I'm like, well, there's still a lot of games left. How many times have we both said that? There's still a lot of baseball
Oh my
to
God,
be
I don't
played.
even know. At least 4 times an episode.
It's still too early. There's a lot of baseball left. There is still hope for teams under 500. I went ahead because MLB Network did a segment, and I decided I wanted to do this too. It was in my head to do it, but really seeing that segment by MLB Network, I think it was Brian Kenny, I was like, oh yeah, I got to do this. So, playoff teams under 500 on June 10th over the last 3 years. Ready?
Yeah.
So these are teams that are under 500 over the last 3 years that ended up making the playoffs and having a run in October. And they were under 500 at this point in the season over the last 3 years. I just explained it like 5 different times.
Yes.
All right.
Can I please hear what they are?
2023, the Phillies. Can you believe that? The Phillies from last year, who should have been in the World Series, got upset by the Diamondbacks. They lost 2 games at home in Philadelphia to lose that series. They were up 3-2. The Phillies were 31-33 last year, and they lost in the NLCS, but they finished with a record of 90-72, and they finished really hot. This year they're on a roll, and I don't think they have any problems because they're not under 500.
No, they'll be fine.
In 2022, the Mariners, they were 26-31, which is crazy. That's a bad team. 26-31, you're like that. Yeah, write them off. They made the playoffs. They finished 90-72, and they lost in the ALDS, and I think they lost against the Twins. No, Yankees. I don't know who they played. 2022, who did they play? They beat Toronto. They might have lost it. It was the Astros, I think they lost to in 2022. 2021, you know who was under 500 on June 10th in 2021?
I did guess this one. It was the Braves.
The World Series champions, the Atlanta Braves. Yep. The Braves were 29-31, and they finished the year 88-73. Guess what? They got a ring on their finger, and I think that was before they had the expanded wild card. So they still made the playoffs as a wild card team, not the 3 wild. They were like only 2 wild card teams. All right. Outside of those teams, stay tuned for this Friday. I'm doing a video on baseball's best forgotten rivalry between these guys, the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees.
Don't spoil it.
In the late
no,
70s.
Why'd you spoil it?
It's all right.
Don't give.
They don't know what happened. Don't look it up. Just watch the video. But
Watch
those
the video. It's
Royals,
very interesting.
in 1977, the Royals were the second best team, or they were the first place in their division. They were 31-32 on June 20th. They were under 500, and they ended up finishing the year with 102 wins.
That's a crazy run.
That is a crazy run. And then they met the Yankees in ALCS. So
I'm
given
excited
that,
to see this.
given that,
Subscribe now so you don't miss Ant's video.
yeah, stay
Thank you.
tuned. Trying for this Friday. But given all these teams that have had success and they're under 500 at this point in the season in previous years,
Yes.
which one of the teams currently not over 500 do you feel like is most likely to win and make a run in October?
Are we picking one for each division or for each league?
Yeah. One team in the American League, who do you think is going to make a run? Under 500.
If any of these teams, if I had to put money on any of these teams making a run, it'd probably be Houston.
I thought they were dead.
They are dead. But hey, look, I've been on the scene a long time. The zombies come back.
I hear you. I think it's going to be Texas who's going to go.
Them
on
or the
a run.
Rangers. Them or the Rangers. It's one of
Yeah,
those two.
I think
for sure.
Texas is more likely to go on a run. I mean, wait till they get. I think Seager, once he gets going and comes back, I think he's out with injury. Is he out for the whole year? Am I crazy?
I thought he was out for the whole year for sure.
Is he really?
I thought he was, but I could be wrong.
Hold on a second.
I
How can
think
it?
while you're looking that up, I think the only other team that I would probably put in the maybe category would be Detroit, actually. I think there's still a lot of movement in that division, and I think it's not bad. They're all very good teams. So I think if I had to pick a third place team that I think could come out of this hole of under 500, it would be Detroit.
Oh, so are you switching from Houston to?
No, I mean, Houston's probably my number one, and then Rangers, and then Detroit, and then everyone else I think is kind of unfortunately stuck.
Seager's playing, but he did leave a game early 5 days ago. But he's in a lineup. I had to look. All right, National League. Let me go first on this one because I know you went first with the American League. Which one of these teams do I think is fit to go on a run, not over 500? All right, I think the easy answer here is probably the San Diego Padres.
Well, yeah.
I think
I mean, they're at 500 right now, so they're not under 500.
Exactly, and it's not that much of a stretch. They have the tools to do it. But realistically, I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to say the St. Louis Cardinals are the team that can go on a run.
Ooh, that is kind of a wild pick. I was thinking maybe the Mets, actually.
Okay, that one's crazy. I thought I was going crazy. I think you went a lot
That is
crazier.
kind of crazier. I know.
The Cardinals started off really bad, and they have been on a decently good run as of late to get them right next to the Cubs, and the Cubs have faltered.
Yeah.
Currently, Cardinals are only one game back from the wild card. There's a lot of teams that they have to jump past, which is tough because you got to jump past a lot of teams. Teams can win, so you're one game back, but you're really not one game back, to be honest. Like I don't know how to explain it. But tell me about the Mets. What is this London series like? That was your T?
I think I'm coming off the high of the London series. I wanted them to win, and they were against the Phillies, so they didn't. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if nothing else, we counted the Mets out last week, and they came back and they played really good baseball. So
they did.
I don't want
They won 3 games against the Nationals. Not a bad team. Nationals.
I don't want to count them out. I don't want to count them out. So I would pick the Mets. We still got a lot of baseball ahead of us.
I know Mets fans don't want to hear that, but I mean, we said going to London, like heading into London, we were like, hey, if they win 2 games here, it might be something that turns the season around because these road trips, sometimes you get team bonding and something just changes. They did win the last one in some interesting fashion, so maybe you still get that same effect. All right.
Could be.
You know what time it is? Time for our favorite segment of the show, and by ours, I mean yours.
It's time for Fair or Foul.
All right, let's check out the first one. We got a video. I believe that's Cleveland. Fair or foul. There's nothing really I can say.
Watch it now.
Nothing really I can say.
Oh.
Yeah, a little, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, a little, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Well,
I don't know what's going on there, what kind of celly that is.
June,
I don't know. Okay. Yeah, it is June. And I don't know what celebration that is, but good form. That's what I could say. Good form on that, man.
Great form. No,
Athlete.
You can tell he practices. So I'll give it fair.
Is Freeman doing that in the mirror in the locker room?
He might be.
Hey, bro.
Somebody taught him.
He definitely went to one of his boys on the team like, yo, if I hit a double or if I hit a home run, I'm coming back in a dugout and I'm dropping it low and shaking that thing right in front of you. I'm going to say fair.
It's fair. It's fair.
It's a long season, man. You go crazy playing in that dugout, man. You got to do things to get yourself entertained.
And honestly, you're such a goofball. I could see you pulling one of these.
I've definitely.
It's sarcastically, but then stunning us by how good it is.
No, I might have ripped this move before. I don't.
Oh, I'm sure you have. And that's the thing. It's always guys that do it like to be funny that suddenly you're like,
well, you were a little too good. You did a little too good.
Yeah.
You did a little too good. You need to chill out. Why you do a little too good?
Where did you learn that, huh? Yeah. So fair.
Yeah, well, the foul thing is that at least when I did it, I was like college, so there were no cameras around to Not saying call. Oh yeah, you do things. No, I'm saying there are no cameras around to catch me. They're in Major League, so they see everything. The next one you got. This is not Los Angeles, by the way. This is New York City. Dodgers fans storming the Bronx so much that they had like a street parade and cops were escorting them to Yankee Stadium. What do you make of this?
I don't like when it's home and like the other team out like it's too
Yeah. Too present. It's too present.
you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a home game. It should be for us. And I feel that when it's my teams, I feel that when it's other people's teams, when I'm away for someone, I like to feel like I'm in enemy territory. It brings the fun in it, I feel like. I don't really care though. Look, it's New York, and I'm not surprised to see a lot of people who are Dodgers fans there, to be honest with you. So
So you saying
whatever.
fair, foul? That's the name
I'm
of the game.
saying
Yo, You're like,
I'm saying dead ball. I'm saying dead ball. I
whatever.
don't care.
I don't think that's an option, but I'll say foul. I don't like to see this
Foul.
either. I don't like to see
Foul,
this either.
yeah. If I have to pick one, it's foul. It's
It's
like,
annoying.
okay.
But to be
It
honest,
is annoying.
you have two annoying fan bases colliding, so this was inevitable. You know what I really picture
That's
here?
the thing.
Have you ever
What?
seen the movie Gangs of New York with
Yes, of course.
DiCaprio? I just picture
Yeah.
Dodger fans, like the Dead Rabbits or the Blind Rabbits, whatever they're called. I think it's the Dead Rabbits, and like the Italians, like the Catholics and the Irish and Gangs in New York, where they're like going to fight each other with like meat cleavers and butcher knives.
Yeah.
I want to see
Any
that.
other fan bases, it would be like the people in West Side Story. But with these two guys, they're so annoying, it would actually be like Gangs of New York. So
Yeah,
whatever.
these guys look
Get
like
out
they're
of
gonna
here,
fight each other.
guys.
All right.
Shush.
The next one is Jayson Werth, former World Series champion with the Phillies.
Okay.
Not a player anymore. He owns a horse.
I
and
love the look though.
his horse raced in a Belmont Stakes. Congratulations. He won the Belmont Stakes. His horse did.
Wow.
Jason Werth wasn't racing. His horse was racing. I don't know if I made that
I
clear.
assumed so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought so.
What do you make of this fit,
Although,
though?
with this luscious mane, it could have been him out there on the track,
Yeah.
blowing.
I was going to ask, fair or foul on his fit for the Derby.
Oh, fair. Fair. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's clean.
I would wear this to the Derby. That looks so sick. He looks great.
I wonder if this is just his normal attire or if this was
Probably.
his Derby fit.
I really
Oh,
hope.
sorry, not a Derby. Belmont Stakes. It's the stake fit.
Okay.
Is that...
I hope that he just like shows up at a grocery store dressed like this. Like, I hope this man does not leave that house without the top hat. And frankly, fair. Very fair.
Okay, yeah. Fair. I like the fit. He's always had good flow. Jayson Werth's always had good flow. Let's look at next week's games. Why not, right?
Do it.
All
yeah,
right.
that's what we're here for.
Let's see. Next week, midweek. The midweek series of the... What is it? The midweek series of the week.
Midweek matchups.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Best series this upcoming midweek. What do you got for best series? I see
Hands
one.
down, I'm not even letting you finish. It's the Yankees and Royals.
Ooh. Okay.
Two very hot teams about to meet up. That is a series to watch for because I think it means a lot to both teams. The Royals can be a contender that the Yankees might have to deal with later, and they're still trying to make sure that they have a spot in October, the Royals, that is. So, yeah, I think that is the game to watch this week.
Good segue into my extra innings video that we're going to be doing too. Yankees-Royals rivalry. Hopefully this is might ignite another rivalry between these two teams. I think another good series to watch out for here is the Braves and Orioles. I think that's going to be a good series as well at Camden
That
Yards.
is very good. Yes, you were right. That'll be a good one too. I mean, Mariners, Sox. The Sox are due for a win.
They have one. They got one against the Sox. Their other Sox. Or the Red
The other
Sox.
Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Watch out. I think it's due. The White Sox are due for a sweep. Like, they're going to sweep the Mariners. Another sneaky series midweek. Phillies, Red Sox. That might be a good one as well. Let's hop over to
we'll see,
weekends. The weekend series. Anything here where you're like, oh, yeah, good series. I see Royals, Dodgers. That might be good.
Royals, Dodgers. Yeah, it's
Clearly.
like the Royals are coming off of this, and they're having to face these two World Series teams in quotes. If you're not
Yeah.
watching,
Oh, 100%.
So that'll be interesting. The Pirates will lose in Denver because they're in
Maybe
Denver.
not. Maybe not. We jinxed them. The Phillies and Baltimore. That's going to be another good series. Two top teams right there.
You're raising the Braves.
Yeah, but the Rays, like I said, they're just extremely average. I know I just said teams under 500 have hope. I still am holding on to that hope. I'm an optimistic fan. I'm not one who says the season's over after we lose our opening day. But, yeah, and that's not really a series that I would expect anyone to really pay attention to other than Rays and
Phillies
Braves fans.
Orioles though will be interesting.
Yep.
Again, same thing. Good team matchups this week. And then obviously, it goes without saying the prime time.
The double dip
being
again.
And it's which is kind of weird. I don't like it, but storied rivalry between the Yankees and the Red Sox. I mean, let me ask you this. I know it's a rivalry. I know it's like hundreds of years old or something at this point. Do we care?
Yes.
Since the Red Sox are not good. Okay, just checking.
Whoa. The Red Sox aren't good.
The Red Sox are not good.
They're not bad.
They're not good either. There's an in-between. There's like
They're
good.
Are they a playoff team right now?
Bad, and
They might not
one
be a playoff team right now.
No, aren't they? They're like under 500, aren't they?
No, they are 500, I believe, if I'm not
Okay.
crazy. Let me see. Nope, they are 500. Exactly.
Okay,
Which is not bad. Okay, they are in third place. And you know what? They can make playoffs this year. And
That's
also, nothing would make a Red Sox fan happier in Fenway Park this season or this weekend
Than to beat the Yankees.
And go for a sweep against the Yankees. You know how that would make Red
swayed
Sox
me.
fans? Yeah. So we
swayed
still
me.
care. We still care. And watch.
Okay.
One person gets hit. One fight breaks out this series. The rivalry's still alive. It is still
And
alive.
let's not forget, the Red Sox are being filmed still for their documentary.
I would pay for a
So-
fight. I would pay for a fight so we can get that in Hard Knocks.
I mean,
MLB Hard
honestly,
Knocks.
yeah, it would be pretty fun to see how they're going to how they'll be sculpting out the storyline for this within those episodes on Netflix. I think that'll be interesting.
Let's go ahead look at the primetime picks before we pick our picks this weekend for Yankees Red Sox. We split last weekend.
I gotta pick the Yankees for both. I'm sorry.
All right.
So.
I'll say I'll split
And
it.
I might regret that. I'm choosing I'm choosing fandom over like thinking about it here. So that might screw me.
I'll split it. I'll say Red Sox win the first two games of the series, so they'll win that Saturday game, and then the Yankees will win Sunday.
Okay, so basically what happened with the Dodgers this weekend.
Yeah. The Red Sox will win Saturday on Fox, and then the Yankees Sunday on ESPN.
If I were gonna split it, I would go the other way actually, but you do you.
Look at that. She's trying to get in my brain. Hey, who has a better record for primetime picks this year?
You so far. You were right.
No, just
correct.
you could have just stopped at you. You didn't have to add the so far.
Hey, there's still a lot of baseball left.
Yeah.
We got a chance for teams under 500 to come back.
We're both under 500. All right, well, that's all I got for the show today, unless you got something that you want to add.
No, I mean, look, lots of good baseball. Lots of good baseball this weekend. It makes me excited to be watching the sport again. I hope that a lot of people feel that way. And if you're this far, stop. If you haven't already, I don't know why you didn't listen to me before, but please stop what you're doing and subscribe. We're still on the path to 1,000, and we would appreciate it. Plus, that means you won't miss Ant's upcoming extra innings video, which I know is going to be really kick-ass because I've read some of it, and it looks really cool. I think you unplugged yourself. Did you mute yourself? Did you touch the top? I might have to close out the show, ladies and gents. So I think, well, Anthony's got.
That's what it was.
Oh, there you go. I was about to close this out.
Go ahead. Go. I was just saying, Royals, stay tuned. George Brett, Hal
all
McRae.
right. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking through that. Let's see if we can get through an episode next time without a technical difficulty.
You know what I just noticed too? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm totally screwing up your clothes. By the way, I know she said it. Subscribe. We're dumb. I told you we're unserious. We can end it when we want to end it. All right.
That's what I was doing. But what did you want to say?
I just noticed on my end, since I have the keys to the show right now, I can mute you whenever I want.
All right. Well,
coming out tonight.
we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling different. Tell me what you're drinking.